Alright, in today's lesson we're going to continue with our use of ratios, and we're going to relate these ratios and find the value of them, and we'll kind of talk about fractions within the value of a ratio. Okay, this should be a fairly short lesson here. Let's take a look at the first example. I kind of wrote it out today. The number of red gumballs is 5/3 the number of white gumballs. This takes me back to, I think, our first ratio lesson. We talked about the little fraction and the way to say it. Another way to say this is 5/3. So the ratio of red gumballs to white gumballs is 5/3. What the problem would ask us to do in this situation is to create a tape diagram that represents this. So let's do red gumballs. And our red ones come first. So we're going to do 5. Five for red because that number comes first and red comes first. We always read a fraction top to bottom, so that's 5/3. And white gumballs, there are 3. So the ratio that we could write from this problem is 5/3. Part to part, red to white. And that's the extent of example 1. The value of this ratio is 5/3. 5/3. Okay, moving on to example number 2. The duration of 2 films is shown below. The duration is how long a film is. So film A, or movie A, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say 5 hours. I don't know. We'll pretend. It's a long film. Film B, or movie B, is 7. All right, so if we were to write a ratio, our ratio would be 5/7. Fairly simple. Now, if we were going to write a sentence to show the value of that ratio, we would say that film A comes first, 5/7 of the length of film B. Because it's 5 for A, 7 for B. So A comes first in our fraction, 5. B comes second as 7. So film A is 5/7 of the length of film B. In the same method, we can do another sentence starting with film B, just like we did our part-to-part ratios before. This is the part-to-part. Let's do film B is, now B has to come first, 7/5 of the length of film A. So B is 7/5. That means B is longer because that's greater than 1. B is 7/5 of the length of film A. That concludes our lesson for today. That's much shorter than the last couple lessons we've had. If you have any questions or it's kind of confusing, please write notes or questions in your notebooks so that you can bring them to class and we can discuss them.